Hi everyone, welcome to the second video on academic vocabulary command words. These are words that you might be asked to use in an exam or a piece of academic work for school, and it's a good idea to know exactly what these are asking you to do. Today's word is summarize. What is summarizing? Summarizing is where they will give you a detailed piece of information to read, or they might expect you to know it off by heart. And they'll want you to rewrite it in a very short, very clear way. They want you to leave out anything they're not asking you about, so they might ask you about something very particular. So if it was a newspaper article about a disaster or accident, for example, they might only ask you about the events on that day. Or if it was a newspaper article about the heroism of an explorer, they might ask you about the things that they discovered in their life. So you are looking very particularly for what the examiner has asked you to pull out, and then you're writing it in a short, concise way, leaving out anything that is not necessary. Why do they want you to summarize? Well, it's a life skill. When you're going about your life at work or at home, you might get a large article, a large piece of writing to read and digest, and you will need to pull out the things that you do need to use without wasting time with the stuff that you don't need. So it's a skill which employers look for. It is one of the most useful skills, and that's why it frequently comes up in academic tests across all subjects. Can you answer a question? Can you take all of the information and then pull out the stuff that you need? So the way to approach this is to be organised. Usually you'll be given something to read. So step one is to read it. Read it carefully and read it with a highlighter in your hand. Make sure you know what you're looking for. So if they're asking you to summarise facts about a building, for example, highlight the facts about the building. Then you rank those facts. You put them in order from essential, so really, really, really important, a main obvious fact about something, to non-essential. So stuff that's nice to know but not necessarily the most important fact. Then you rewrite it and you put first and foremost the really essential important stuff, and you leave out the less important stuff. The way to do this is by using precise language. So here's an example of what I mean by precise language. Here is the building called the Shard in London. This is a non-precise general sentence about the Shard. The Shard, which is in London, is extremely tall, so you can see it from afar, and it's very new and up to the minute. They're giving true information about the Shard, but it is not precise. It is not clear. It's waffly. All of these extra words, extra word, 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 extra word. So many words. You can actually get exactly the same meaning by writing this. The brand new Shard dominates London's skyline. This is precise. So you've got brand new. Instead of it's very new and up to the minute, a precise word. It's not even a fancy word, but this is what they mean by precise words. Brand new. You've got the name of it. Then you've got dominates London's skyline. Well, if it dominates, it's extremely tall. Yeah? If it's dominating the skyline. And if it's dominating London's skyline, that replaces which is in London. So both of these clauses, which is in London, is extremely tall, so you can see it from afar, dominates London's skyline. So that's what we mean by precise language. We don't necessarily mean very long, fancy words, particularly not when you're summarizing. It's just cutting it down to the minimum number of words that make the meaning clear. So I'm going to demonstrate the process here. If you want to pause and read this, this is a section from Wikipedia about the Shard, and I'm going to imagine that I've been asked to summarise what we find out about the building, i.e. the skyscraper itself. So the Shard, also referred to as the Shard of Glass, Shard London Bridge, and formerly London Bridge Tower, is a 95-storey skyscraper in Southwark, London, that forms part of the London Bridge Quarter development. standing 309.7 metres, 1,016 feet high. The Shard is the tallest building in the United Kingdom, the 4th tallest building in Europe, and the 11th tallest building in the world. It is also the 2nd tallest freestanding structure in the United Kingdom, after the concrete tower at the Emily Moore transmitting station. Well, that's a bit of a mouthful. What I would do is I would read that and I would underline, or in this case, because it's a PowerPoint, I've copied and pasted information about the building. So I left out stuff about names because they're asking me about the facts of the building. So I left out stuff about the names. It's 95 stories. It forms part of the London Bridge Quarter development. It's 309.7 metres high, or you can do it in feet. It's the tallest building in the United Kingdom, the 4th tallest building in Europe, and the 11th tallest building in the world. And it's the 2nd tallest freestanding structure in the United Kingdom, after the concrete tower at the Emily Moore transmitting station. Now, looking at all of that, are there any bits that are not so important when talking about buildings and skyscrapers? Straight away, I'm looking at this fact, because this fact is comparing it against a transmitting station at a tower. It's not against a building, yeah? Whereas all of this is about buildings. So if I had to cut something even further, I would cut this. So then I'm going to use my precise sentences, and my summary comes out like this. Standing 309.7 metres tall, the 95-storey Shard comprises part of the London Bridge Quarter development. So that's 3 sentences I've squashed down into one using precise language. It is therefore the tallest building in the UK, the 4th tallest in Europe, and the 11th tallest worldwide. Now, I am only talking about skyscrapers there. I am only talking about the building, and I've squashed and compressed my language to make sure that it is very clear, very simple, and summarised. If you are asked to summarise, that is what you have to do. So to summarise summarising, read the question, pull out the key facts or the key elements that you have been asked about, rank them in order and leave out any that really aren't that important, and when you're rewriting, use precise, clear language with no waffle. Yeah, you don't want loads of adjectives, adverbs, similes and metaphors. This is not the time for that. Very simple, very clear, very precise language. Hope this was clear and precise for you. Please do let me know if there are any academic words that you would like some more support with. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos.